Good morning, everyone. So, for today in the morning, we plan to go to Montauban. It's Easter Sunday. We hope it's not very full. I have seen in one of these guides, you can see it's known for being a cultural city with museums, monuments, walks. So, our kind of thing, basically. And then we might try to go to Montes before 1 p.m. because that's when the market ends. It's 9:12. We have arrived to Montauban, the city of museums, art and culture. So we do not have a plan, like usual. We are just gonna look around and maybe check out on maps what there is to see. I think since it's Easter Sunday today, museums are closed, but we do not have so much time to look inside museums anyways. We might just show you the façade of the museum, like the outside, and then you can decide when you are here whether you want to pay for the ticket to go inside or not. So we have 5 main monuments: the Museum Ingress, the Old Bridge, the National Square, the Cathedral, and the Saint Jack Church. Yeah. So Ingress Museum, right here, dedicated to 2 local artists. The Old Bridge over there. Then we have the National Square. The cathedral is over here, so we would need to go up the stairs somewhere to the right. And then we have the Church of Saint Jack. So here in the first office of Montauban for the French presidential election, 784 people have voted, out of which 225 have voted for Macron, 198 for the leftist candidate Mélenchon, Eric Zemmour, the right-wing candidate, 83, and the other right-wing candidate, Marine Le Pen, 103 votes. The Cathedral of Montauban is a Catholic cathedral and national monument of France. You might be like, wait a second, so this city has a cathedral instead of a church? That means that it has an own bishopric? You are right, Montauban has a bishop since 1377, although this building is newer than the bishopric. It dates from 1685. What happened to the Old Cathedral? Well, it was destroyed during the Wars of Religion, when the Protestants gained control of the city. However, Catholicism was reintroduced in 1629, and they decided to build this cathedral. The west facade, with its two towers, shows atypical architectonic features. The frontispiece shows the four evangelists with Ionic columns, and the whole building is made in the classical style with white stone, making the cathedral stand out from the surrounding red brick buildings. Montoban is the capital of the Tarn-et-Garonne department and one of the oldest fortified towns, also called Bastide. You might have the impression that some of Montauban's buildings look a bit ruined. The city had to endure many wars and conflicts during the Middle Ages and the modern era. Especially conflicts between Protestants and Catholics had a toll on Montauban. Still, this town survived them all, and it was given the name of Ville d'Art et d'Histoire, City of Art and History. Economically, Montauban mainly depends on agricultural trade and light industry such as cloth making, flour milling, and furniture manufacturing, which is very representative of the rural department where it's situated. So if you want to get good produce or something handmade that looks fancy, you already know where to come. That Italian shop had a sign in 3 languages. Italian, French, and then because of the weird script I was not able to decipher that it was English, and I thought it was Occitan, the language spoken here in this region. So I was gonna pronounce it like P-rate bike and think that it was Occitan. But no, then I realized, hey, but that doesn't make sense, and that doesn't look like Italian Catalan, like what Occitan looks like. So then I figured, well, it's English. This church is the oldest historical monument of Montauban. It's a Catholic church that was pillaged by Calvinists, but it also survived a siege by Louis XIII in 1621, with the church still displaying the holes from the cannonballs that were fired during the siege. The church is mainly built in the Gothic style, but it does have some features from other styles, such as the west entrance in the neo-Romanesque style or the aisles in the classical style. The city of Montauban is called City of History and Art for a reason. It does not only have historical buildings, but also many museums. The most important one is the Ingress Museum, named after an artist from here. But it also houses art pieces from Bourdelle, also native of Montauban. And did you know that during World War II the Mona Lisa was hidden in this city? So this fence broke. Maybe a car fell down here or something, like there was some very crazy accident, and they just put fences around it as if nothing happened. Yeah. What if a kid comes and I don't know. falls off the cliff, it's really dangerous. So we're gonna walk on broken stairs. Let's remind ourselves that we are in the center of a rich place. The Place Nationale is the heart of the city of Montauban. In the past, the rules of the city were proclaimed from a tribune. After 2 fires, the rulers of the city decided to rebuild the square in brick instead of wood in the 17th century, also with the plans to turn it into a royal square. When Napoléon rid through Montauban, the facades of all buildings in the square were cleaned and blanched. So now we are going back to the place where we parked. We're gonna check out 2 more things: the botanical garden from the outside and a cloister, a monastery. And then we might leave Montauban. Everything is closed, or almost everything is closed on Easter Sunday, so there's not much to see. It's quite nice that the botanical garden here is free of entrance. Like, you can just enter it without paying anything, without any restrictions on opening times, and you just walk through the garden, see the different plants and trees, although quite honestly I have no idea about trees, plants, like about botanical stuff. But still, it's very nice, very beautiful to see all the different greens and all the flowers, and that all of this is for free. Even the botanical garden of Montoban is artistic, displaying monuments of famous people from the city, other important figures, or also just statues. As a last recommendation, if you are visiting Montauban for its cultural offer, you can take a look at the Convent of the Carmelites, also called Temple of the Carmelites, which was closed today. It dates from 1277, but this is not the original building, since it was destroyed during the Wars of Religion. It was rebuilt in 1631, and that's the building that was restored. But still, it does have some history inside and can be interesting to check out. So that was Montoban, the most important monuments and sites. Now we're gonna go back to the car and we will go to Montes to see if the market is still open and where the market is at all, because we have no idea where they organize it. And then we'll have lunch Well, that was Montoban. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.